Alrighty. Man, I never know how to start these videos. Regrettably, you are not seeing me at the beginning of a run. You are seeing me at the end. Just got in 10 incredibly slow miles here at Brown County State Park. And I figured I would take you along for the dessert at the end of the run rather than the actual run, because the actual run was a miserable and wet son of a gun. It's a fun one though. I'll tell you all about it in a second. But the dessert is that fire tower. I have seen this thing a million times at the end of all my runs, and I've seen the steps leading up to it, but I've never actually gone up the thing. So we are going to learn together just how scared of heights I am. So we'll see how this goes. Ooh, it's super sketchy looking. Warning, please use extreme caution when climbing. Built in the 1930s on the highest ridge in southern Indiana. So it used to be a fire tower, and now I don't really use it for anything else. Man, I'm getting super sketched out if you couldn't tell. But we're going up. This, ironically, is what most of the run would have looked like if you were along for the ride. I came down to Brown County because I had a hill workout today, kind of starting to introduce hills back into the picture. Oh yeah, this is getting sketchy. Okay, just gonna look at the camera. So I did 10 miles out and back along this trail that is very hard. I think its technical rating is extreme, or extreme. It's the only extreme trail in this park, I think. And it's a tough one. I did like I said, an out and back where I picked this one kind of short and not terribly steep, kind of a slight incline hill during the first part. I did like 5 reps on that, just hard uphill, very easy on the downhills. And then about halfway through, I did this hill that we like to call, by we I mean me, like to call home run, except I actually did the extended version of home run because I found a way to add more distance to it. Okay, we are getting to the top, and this thing is getting very interesting. It's windy too. I hope you can still hear me. Okay, bummer. I don't think you can hear me, but that thing is locked and I can't get inside of it. So I think this is gonna have to be the end of the road for the fire tower. Okay, don't look down, Ryan. Woo, buddy. Also, don't drop your phone over the edge. This is Brown County. I like how far off in the distance you can see there. There's a little trail right down there. I know it's a little hard to see. I'm really curious about whether or not you can hear any of this. But anyways, I got to about halfway done with the run, and I did this route called Grand Slam, which the reason it's called that is the home run, the original name of that route. I'm gonna head down now because I'm getting real sketched out. Home run, the original name of that hill, got its name because at the, you come across it at this trail, and all of a sudden there's this fire road going up and down. Old fire road, very much abandoned and very kind of overgrown. But you have to go down before you can go up. So I went all the way down to the bottom of this fire road thinking, yeah, this could maybe be a good workout. It's super steep. I get to the bottom and I turn around and start climbing out. And I swear to you, by the time I finished that climb, it felt like I had climbed outside of the park. Out of the park, home run, that's the name. Problem is, today and one time before I kind of scouted it out, I determined that there's actually a way to go a little higher. So I needed something that was a little bit more out of the park than a home run, aka Grand Slam. So anyways, I did 5 little short repeats to start the workout. Got to home run, or the Grand Slam area. Did 3 Grand Slam repeats, which is a tough one. I'll actually do a workout here before the end of Tahoe, and the kind of build up to Tahoe, which is probably just going to be a really long run. All of it spent on Grand Slam, just up and down, up and down. It's so good for kind of power hiking, grinding climbs. And we're at the bottom. And I'm actually resting a little bit easier now that we are. So anyways, I did that, and then I kind of came back, and on the way back I stopped at that same hill and did some more short and fast repeats. So the reason I did it that way is you've got kind of a it gives you a variety of hill workouts. So you do that first short and fast one on fresh legs, then you go, and about halfway through you get this grinding power hike kind of climb in, and then on the way back when you're almost done, you get a quick set of hills on tired legs. So that's the general idea. Oh, I am a soggy mess, and I'm gonna turn the heat on. I am going to film the rest of this recap while I'm sitting in the car and not driving, because you should never film and drive, kids. Also, don't look at any of my past videos on this channel, because that's exactly what I do. So anyways, I'm pretty happy with that run. Yeah, it's one of the only places you can get some real hills is here in Brown County. I'm actually gonna see what my watch says about the ascent and descent. It's never been great for me at telling me pretty accurately what I actually climbed and descended, but we'll see what the watch says. Training in general is going pretty well. I have a little bit of some worries about this left hip of mine. It's got kind of a little bit of soreness in it. My watch, by the way, is saying 562 feet of climbing and 632 feet of descent. So that's not right. It's a lot more than that. It was a pretty miserable and wet day out there, but as I've said before, and I'll say again, the plus side of days like that is that nobody else was out there. I saw no other runner the entire time. It has rained for like the past 3 days. It's probably going to continue to rain for the next 3 days, and that trail was pretty much underwater, but that's also a great time to get some good training in, especially on it makes these Indiana trails even a little bit more technical than they are, which, you know, we could always use that added benefit. So what's coming up next for me? I have probably one more workout and a long run left this week, maybe just one long run with a workout in the middle of it. Hitting 60 miles this week. Next week I am going to, on the weekend, I think I'm gonna get in a trail half marathon, so I've been doing a little bit more speed than I'm used to, just because I want to kind of get better. A major goal of mine right now is to get more efficient at moving on trails. So one of the ways to do that, obviously, is go a little bit faster on the trails. I am really looking forward to that, and I'll obviously key you in a little bit more. I wish that I could have taken my phone out there on this run to show you, because it is just absolutely beautiful out here. On that front though, I do have good news, and I will probably be back at the end of this video. That'll probably be the second part of this video. One last thing, because yes, I'm about to be that person. I just uploaded that run to Strava, and Strava treats me a lot better than my watch does, apparently, because Strava said I had 1,100 feet of gain. So, not like I'm flipping a middle finger to you, watch, but I might be flipping a middle finger to you. All right, I'm actually done this time. Can you see Kingsley at all?
Yes.
Hey, Kings. Hi, buddy. Hi. Okay, so this is part 2 of the video that I was talking about earlier. Obviously, I've got some help from my wonderful girlfriend, Megan. She's behind the camera, and that's because I don't have enough hands to do all of this at once. And also, I'm using her house to film this. So, basically, I got a new camera, an action camera, and a gimbal to film it. So, I'm going to pull that stuff out of the box right now, get it all set up together, and then we will take some video. Okay. So, got the camera here. I did take it out and charge it last night. So, very fancy, touchscreen and everything on the back. I'm going to put the SD card in it. It's beeping at me. Okay, so I think this thing is good to go. It says it's got 1 hour and 8 minutes of potential footage. Cool. So, that's the camera part. I'm going to get the gimbal out and do that too. Okay, so I was doing a bunch of research before I ended up buying this thing about what camera I wanted to buy, but more what gimbal I wanted to use, because obviously I did not want to break the bank, but I did want to get some good trail running videos, a lot more stable than carrying this phone with me or almost dropping it in the river like I did a couple weeks ago. So I'm going to, I've got this this gimbal also made by Yi, which they make really good stuff. The only downside to any of this is that none of it is waterproof, It is currently raining outside, so we picked a great day to do this. So, as you might be able to tell, the camera slides into this little bracket, and then it's got some motors in here that keep the thing level once I turn the actual gimbal on. So, without the gimbal being on, this thing obviously swings all over the place. It doesn't keep itself straight. Now we will turn this thing on. And we got a plane coming overhead. Okay. So basically this thing's got a big battery in it, and if I need to film something, the major thing it's going to do, one, it's got an actual joystick that I can use to kind of turn the camera if I need to pan or tilt. But the other thing it's got is a couple different modes. So for instance, if I am wanting to film this way, I can set it in lock position, like I've got it currently, and then I just, I can move this thing and it's still going to focus on the same thing each time. So hopefully what we are going to do here in a second is get this thing going so that you can see footage of both of these at the same time. Okay, so I believe I've got this whole thing set up. I am by no means the techiest person out there, so I actually really needed something that was going to work and be a little bit user-friendly even for some people like me. But what I have going on here is that the handle is Bluetooth linked to the actual camera. So I will start showing you the footage of the camera, and you can kind of see how even it is, even if I move this thing around. I'm actually really curious to see how it ends up. The point here is that I can run, I can shake in this thing, and because of the image stabilizing within the camera and the stabilizing of my hand with this gimbal, the footage should be pretty good. A couple other cool things it can do. I hope I hit the right button here. If I hit a certain button, it goes into selfie mode. So if I'm showing, for instance, the front of the trail, then I hit the selfie button and I'm doing something wrong.
Oh no.
Hey, I found it. Okay. I found it, but I didn't do it very well. So there's that. That one is gonna have to use some practice. That is the transition between selfie and not selfie. Okay, obviously getting a little bit better, but need some practice at the change between selfie mode. So the reason I wanted this thing, the reason I'm going to end up using it a lot on the channel is that it's just way too hard to hold that phone running out on the trail and still get steady video. As you've seen in the past, I'm actually really bad at getting my face in the camera. So hopefully this thing is going to work out alright, because I can kind of maybe hopefully keep my face in the camera even if I'm shaking this thing all around. So that's the big announcement on the channel. Hopefully I get this thing figured out and I can get you some cool videos here before too long out on the trail. I figured for today what we might do in order to test it out is get some video of Kingsley. Kingsley, you ready? You ready for your debut on the YouTube channel? He's panting, so I think that he is probably ready. Let's do this thing. Hey buddy. Hi. 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 How you doing? You excited about the camera? Are you panicky because you don't know what's going on? Kingsley. Kingsley, let's go. Let's go. Kingsley, sit. Stay. 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 Okay, come here. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh God, don't lick the camera.